Hey everybody, sorry I'm running behind. We're going to get started. I see people are still checking in. Welcome. This is the weekly goal setting and digital marketing series. My name is Maria Barakat, and a few housekeeping items. For those of you that are new, I do record these each week and then I upload them and I will get them to you. If you cannot hear me, there is a chat box in your menu at the top and you can alert me. We try to keep these under 30 minutes, so we want to keep you all on mute and get things going. I am a social media trainer and consultant, and I've been doing this a long time. My particular focus is on the buyer's journey experience. It's a whole experience that's wrapped into the marketing and the social media process. So everything I do is kind of tied into that. We are doing part 2 today of customer service, which is the personalization process. Last week we did 2 sections of that. Today we're going to talk about the journey, what personalization is, the problems that you all experience, including myself, and the tools that personalization is, and then some examples, everything that we can fit into the 30 minutes. So we're going to try to get going. So we talked about the 3 steps. So here's our recap. Last week, we really went into why you have to outline your customer journey at every touch point. So a touch point is everywhere that your customer would learn about you, find you, research you, and know you and buy from you. The second thing is you have to know what differentiates your brand from the competition, because in order to do that, it helps create better content, really. You're not looking for everybody. You're just looking for the people that need you specifically. And trust me, that's a lot of people. And then you have to personalize that experience for your customers to kind of round out the whole customer service program that every company needs. So the customer service part 1 is the beginning. And what we talked about is this buyer's journey. And I just want to illustrate the beginning part, right? So a buyer wants to know, where can I get this? Do I need this? What is this, right? So they're not able to help themselves, right? So how do you help them in that process? How do I know if this is the right solution for me, the right product, the right service, the right company? They're looking for trust, right? There's nothing permanent about it. So they're researching and then they're making a decision. And this is the point where most people think customer service comes into play, right? Why aren't they listening to me? And why aren't they listening to me can be just in the decision making, into the purchase decision, how I want to buy it, how I navigate through your website, how I navigate in your business and talk to you. But all of these are content service problems, mainly. So content is anything that's on your website, your brochures, the things that I find when I Google you, all of that kind of stuff. Even if I come in and meet you, that's a content decision because you have to train people to sell whatever it is you're offering. And that's a really critically important part of that process. So here in the awareness process, it's your social media posts and your blogs and checklists and downloadable stuff that you have. It is part of your website, but we have to know you before we can go to your website, right? Then the second part, the researching part, is your consumer is looking for reviews and they want comparisons. They want to, should I do this or this or this or this? And they're still reading posts and they are going to your website. And then the decision-making process is more about responses. We've talked about this in terms of reviews. It's great to get a review. It's not great to get a bad review, but are you responding to all of that? And how are you emailing people? And how are you following up with people that inquire about your services? I work with businesses and they say to me, well, I never follow up. If they want what we have, they're going to come back. Well, that's great if you have just so much business you don't know what to do with it, but I don't think we live in that world. So this was why it was really important last week for you to hone in on some of these ideas, because the bottom line, and I'm a digital marketer, is engagement, fans are not enough. This isn't what makes your business move. It's step one in the process, and it's mathematics, but it's not the most important thing. Because what happens when you engage people on your social media, or even on your website, or on your newsletter? So they're interested in you for a reason. They like you. They might need it. They might not need it, right? So all of those fans on your social media are not just customers. They're people who are like, hey, that looks cool, right? So then you have customers, but not everybody is a customer, right? So customers is a different kind of category of engagement. But just remember that those fans that are engaging with you are listening to you. They're watching you. They want to see how you're treating customers. They're looking at what you post. They're reading your things. They're just sort of evaluating who you are. And if they make a decision that they don't like it, they're going to remove you. Then there's the customer service part, right? You 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 have a tech support team, or you call people. They're looking, these people who are engaging with you on your social media, they want to know, can this person fix a problem? What if there is a problem? Are they listening? Is this really worth it? So they're trying to evaluate you. So digital marketing is a process of trust. All of this, right? So you need to create this customer experience management. So it's not really a customer service program, it's really customer experience. Because throughout that experience, people are wondering how you're engaging, right? And if you have been on the whole buyer's journey process, you know that we want advocates. We want people to talk about us in a positive way. So it's only part one, because really all those people that like you, they could never have even bought anything from you, but they are paying attention to all of these things, and they can still advocate for you even though they've never bought from you. Those are the best kinds of fans to have. The sum of the journey is really what matters when it comes to customer service. And I gave you a project last week, and I said, map out your customer journey. So here's most people do it with sticky notes, and they sit down with their team and they say, so how do people find us? How do people make the decision about us? What are we doing when they come in to buy? What do we do after they buy? And they create a board, and they just start putting sticky notes up so that they can see where the potential problems are. And this involves everyone. And it really involves your customer too. So you need to see what the complaints are. You need to see what the positive things are. You need to map it out. This is something that every business needs to do all the time. It's really, really important. So we ended last week with this. If you've done it, it makes today much easier, because today's about personalizing that experience for your customers. So what is it? Number one, it's knowing what your audience wants, right? And then you're offering them some kind of products and services in various ways. That's really what personalization is. So if Maria's your customer, you know what I like about you, you know what I need, maybe you know what I bought, and you're going to provide me options to buy more, or buy for the first time, or service me so that I remain your customer for life, right? That's really what personalization is. Now, what if you have thousands of customers? How do you do that? Well, mistakenly, we think that it comes in the decision only, the experience, right? And then the advocacy. It's really all about the full journey. So we're going to take what we learned last week about you, and we're going to add it into the whole experience. Because first you have to know what your customers want, right? Do they need you? How do they become aware of you? What do they need to make a decision to buy, right? And you probably have that data. Your staff knows that data. You know that data, right? Then you find new ways to offer it to them, right? So that you can have them buy more or buy for the first time, and so that their experience of that product or service is really great. You're giving them things that they need. Part of what I do and why I do trainings like this is that it helps all of my customers. It helps lots of people who aren't my customers, but it helps my customers, because the more they understand about digital marketing, the better they're going to be overall. And then I can help them to refine all of that. So you're looking at this very clearly, because customers want to promote you. This is what we want to do. We're obligated. We feel like I need to tell them when they're doing things right, and I need to tell them when they're doing things wrong, and I need to talk to other people about them in either case. So this is the whole process of customer service. Now, personalizing customer service is a problem especially for small businesses, right? It's a lot of data collection, and it's hard to do when you're a solopreneur. 40% of small businesses struggle to gain those insights and to gain them quickly enough. Sometimes they don't do it till the end of the year. Maybe they only do it once a quarter. I mean, these are things that you have to know. And I want to remind you that at the end of this training, every single week, I go through a series of questions that could solve this problem for you. 39% of small businesses struggle with not having enough data. So maybe you're new, maybe you're changing, there's some kind of problem that you have. Maybe you don't have the software that's really assisting you, or you don't understand the analytics behind all the programs that you're using. More than 50% of small businesses don't have the budget, right? Or the staffing to get the software that's necessary. So I know for a fact that the email softwares that track all that kind of stuff, it's expensive. And not only is it expensive, but it's difficult to learn. And when you're a solopreneur or you have a small business, it's really hard to do it. So you may have the money, but not the time. You might have the staff, but not the money. It's a combination of things. So the solutions I'm going to give you today are going to wipe these things out. If you really want more advanced solutions, reach out to me, because there's really great ways to personalize the experience. But I want to give you some statistics. 48% of customers spend more when their experience is personalized. When they feel that it's personal, they will spend more money. Why? Because we want to feel appreciated, right? That's just what we want. 74% of consumers get frustrated when the content has nothing to do with them. So this is all about a content journey, right? So if you have people on your newsletter or they're on your Facebook page and you're trying to give them information and they're thinking, wait, I thought they did this. I thought they did that. That's why knowing who you are and what problems you solve is really critically important here. This is important for personalization, because you have to really hone in on what is critical, because it is critical and it can be done really simply. So for personalization, start by showing your top 20% individualized offers. So don't go for the whole gang. 20% of your customers generate 80% of your revenue. It's the Pareto principle, and it's pretty true. So you need to know who your 20% are, right? So you start with them. You offer them personal product recommendations. So you have a list, you know what they bought. You see, right? If you interacted with them properly, you might know that they need something else, or that they might need help with what they have, some kind of service, right? And it's really about giving them content that is very specific to what they want, that's based on their previous actions. Maybe it's their demographics. Some customers are older and they do things differently than younger, and their personal data, people in Ohio are different than people in California. There's a whole lot of things that go into that, but you need to really be thoughtful about how you want to do it. So start with the 20%. Know who they are, right? And when it comes to personalization, we're going to start with mobile. So this is the hardest thing for most people. Most of our customers are on mobile. Most of them view who we are. Most of that buyer's journey is done through the mobile. So why not personalize mobile for them? And I'm not talking about getting an app. I'm saying that mobile is everywhere with us. We don't go anywhere without our cell phones. So by texting, you have the advantage of, first of all, they're gonna look at it, because 90% of the time people read their texts. So you got to get their phone number. In that customer gathering process, you need to know who they are and what their phone number is, and let them know, would you like reminders? Would you like these things? So now this is a text that I got yesterday. It was from UPS. But the text actually wasn't from UPS. It was from the company that I ordered something from. And they asked me at the end of my order if I wanted to be notified of the delivery. So I went in and I clicked yes, yes, and I gave them my phone number, right? And then boom. So I get a notification that I have it. Knowing that you have a package on its way and knowing when it's at your door, this is like the greatest thing ever. It's like Santa Claus coming every day. I ordered the darn thing. I could have gone online, I could have gone to ups.com, and I could have checked. I could have gone to their website and I could have checked. But you providing that service on a text message is really, really powerful. And there's other things that you can do via text that are easy. And there are apps out there. You can confirm appointments. You can schedule people to come and see you. You can follow up with them, just little customer service reminders, hey, Maria, haven't heard from you in a while, right? So I'm getting a text. Now, you don't want to bombard them with that because it's a time-consuming process. But there are apps that can help you to do things like this. So think about the importance of it. And also that 90% number. It's really powerful. It's kind of hard to avoid that, right? I found an app that customers themselves are being sold into. It's called Seamless, and it's a food ordering app. And it's really hot right now. And it reminds customers what to buy, right? So it says, stay up to speed, track your orders, save your order history, plan ahead, pre-order, and pay how you want, right? So you need to look at this because customers want this. They want to be reminded. They don't want to keep everything in their head. Are there apps that can help you personalize your customers' purchases? So if you're in a service business, I can tell you hands down, there's free and paid versions of appointment reminders. They're wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful. You set them up, you put them in your calendar, and then boom, client knows, hey, got an appointment tomorrow. If you can't make it, click here. We like that. It's really important. So go and see what you can find on the SMS field. The second part of personalization, and the easier, obviously, is email. And a lot of people think they're already doing this, but I'm gonna show you a couple of things. So personalized emails work, right? Number one, use people's names. So this is the number one way that you start to personalize the experience of your customer, right? Personalized emails improve click-through rates. We know that for sure. You should be looking at the emails that you send. Oh, I got 25% here. I got 28%. Why? Because I said, hey, James. Hey, Mary. Hi, Maria. How are you? It's very easy. I don't know of an email service provider that doesn't personalize with people's names. The problem is a lot of people aren't getting names. So keep that in mind. This is the number one easiest way to personalize your customer and potential customers' experience. Hey, Maria. This week, this is what I have. So when I see my name, I know you're listening. The second thing is remember people's birthdays. This is really awesome. It makes, I love birthdays myself, and I think everybody does. And it's something different. So you can physically send a card if you want. It just depends how many customers you have, with a coupon in it or something. I know my optical place, every year on my birthday, I get the whole month and they give me 20% off because they want me to come back and they want me to buy more glasses, right? You can email it to them. Better yet, right? And if you can personalize it based on prior purchases, that's the better thing, right? So you have to think about it. So here's a couple of examples of what other people did. So they're doing I think that's 6 or 8 day gift, 20% off for the whole month. That I've gotten those. Actually, I know of a lot of companies that I support that give me 20% off for the whole month. And I can't tell you how many times I don't use it because I forget. And some of the really good ones remind me. And they're like, hey, Maria, it's mid-month, hope to see you. And you can give away free stuff. It doesn't even have to be your own products, right? It's your birthday. Here it is. It could be something free. I am challenged by this because a 20% off coupon for being your customer is not considered personalization. Not at all. It really isn't. This is personalization because you know something about me, and it's the easiest thing that every single business can do. We can ask people what their birthdays are, and we can support them on their birthday. This is for retail stores. It's hands down the best way because at Christmas time, we're all getting Christmas stuff. We're all getting the coupons. We're all getting this. And if you don't want to do birthdays because you haven't done it, then do 4th of July. Do another time. Amazon, smack in the middle of the year, does Amazon Prime Day for its Amazon Prime members. They're not doing it in the peak season. So think about how you can make that a personal experience. It's really a powerful, powerful way to help people. The third thing is you can give new subscribers a specialized offer. And how do you do that? So they're new to you. So how do you do that? So this is great. You put together a welcome kit. This works really well in brick and mortar and product-based businesses. It actually works with everybody, but it's a great thing that you can do. And it allows you to ask them questions, right? To ensure that the gifts are personalized. So here's an email that Burt's Bees, I don't know if you know Burt's Bees, they do like lip glosses and stuff, and they're a very organic company. We're excited to inform you that your box of Burt's Bees products has arrived and will be on its way to you once you verify what you'd like to receive, right? So they're offering people something, and they have little products that they're giving people for free, right? So when you click the Verify Your Burt's Bees link, they're going to ask me several questions. Well, are you a boy? Are you a girl? Do you like lip gloss? Do you like this? Do you like that? Because they don't want to send you 9 things. They want to send you that very personalized thing that they know about me. And now they know something about me. So think about your own business and what you could offer as a welcome kit, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be products. It could be something else. But the whole point of this, it's really a 2-part thing, is that you're sending them a welcome kit, and it's usually done in the mail. And you're also asking them questions so that you can personalize it. So you don't just want to welcome everybody and send them a CD and stuff. And I have people that I do a lot of training myself, but I also attend a lot of trainings, and they're expensive, and they tend to send you these welcome gifts, and they're very impersonal. Here's a coffee mug. How do you know I even drink coffee? Right? So this is a 2-part process that you can think about doing. It's a great incentive. Third thing is you can send emails based on their buying and browsing history. Now, this is where the budgets come in, right? Because you have to know what people are buying. I work with small businesses. I know they don't have this fancy schmancy software, but you can implement it in your business. So pay attention to what people are buying, and then you can send them emails based on that. So let's say you have 100 products and you have a certain number of people that are always buying a certain kind of product from you. You can send all of those people a personal email based on that, because now you know what they're looking at. Also, you can get software that tracks your abandoned carts. Right? This is a big deal for websites. You can see that people put their stuff in the carts and then they abandon it, and you don't know who they are. Well, there's ways that you can force people to register with you. Now, they're not going to put their name and all that, but if you just ask them to give you their email address, you could track your abandoned carts better. And then you can offer them something based on that. And I know you've all gotten these emails, right? And sometimes ad nauseum, they just keep hounding you and hounding you and hounding you. Hey, you forgot, Macy's does that. Like, hey, you put those pants in the cart and you still haven't bought them, and they try every way to get me to buy them. And what they're doing is they're annoying me. So you have to be selective. You have to be personal. So this particular email is not personal because it's not to me. I know that it's a computer-generated machine saying forgot something. Now, if it said forgot something, Maria, I would know it's probably still a machine, but it doesn't feel as personal as if it came from you. So like I say, if you're a small business, just focus on the top 20%. Find out what they need and then offer them things based on that history. It reminds them, right? And it has to be authentic. You can't just send that to everybody and assume that everybody's in there. So this involves a little bit more money. It definitely involves a little bit more time, but it can be done without the software. It's work. Maybe someone on your staff can go through and see, and it really does help. Whoops, we forgot to do that. So don't start with everything, right? Go to your top customers and find out your signature customer service experience. Do you want to do texting or packaging, welcome gifts, birthdays, coupons, shopping reminders? Decide what it is that you want to offer and then do that. So let's reflect. Of course, how can I make the customer service experience personal? This is the bottom line. You need to figure out what it is that you can do as a small business to make it personal. And it involves these questions. So this week, I want you to really pay attention to this. How many new emails did you add this week to your list? You should know that, because if you know that, then you know how many new people are going to get your welcome kit, right? What were your total sales for the week? This is important because you can see those customers attached to sales, right? It's important. Do your employees know what's going on? And how many new fans did you add this week? You could even do some kind of a welcome to new fans on your social media. It would be, time consuming, but if you do have a lot of fans and you do add new fans every week, that it could be a fun thing to do. What was your most popular piece of content? This helps you to determine so many things. It says something about the people that are liking it and sharing it. So maybe they've never bought anything like that. Now you know. So if Maria shares a product that you post, maybe I'm interested in it, huh? Now you know what you could send me on an email. And who is your most engaged follower? These people support you, they work for you for free, and you should really take care of them. These are the people that should get the most personalized stuff. And then how are you improving? So listening to this, deciding, answering those questions, this is how you're doing that. So next week, we're going to talk about blogging, because blogging is part of that content process. It's part of understanding who your customers are. And if you understand that, writing it is not a problem because you know what it is, right? So, whoops, I forgot to send that. So I will send out a link to the recording. I want to thank everyone for being here. I hope this helped you. I got a lot of feedback from last week, and I've personally sent out some responses to people that were a little challenged with some of the worksheets. If you don't know what I'm talking about, because some of you today are new, send me an email, Maria at Design Beer Marketing, and I will send you off what you need. So I want to thank you for joining us, and I want to encourage you to be here next